guys, and welcome back to another episode of Make My Food Awesome. I'm Mark Allen France, your guide to good food.
And I'm Trisha Morrissey.
My sweetheart of science. My va-va-va-voom. I love you.
I love you too.
So, yes, you're electrifying today.
Oh boy.
So,
anyway, let's move forward with what we want to share today.
Exactly, but you know what? Before we talk about that, why don't we just say congratulations to everyone out there for becoming members of Team Awesome.
Yes.
We do have some new folks who've joined.
Thanks for joining us. We love it.
Exactly. And if you guys are new here, go ahead, pop down, hit that subscribe button, hit the little bell next to it, and get all of our notifications. Share with your friends and family on all your different social media outlets. And, you guys will, reap the benefits too, because then they'll be happy with you. That you shared everything with them.
Yes, and it gives you new recipes and ideas to try in the kitchen at home. So
exactly.
It's a win-win.
So, something special today.
What?
We're doing something special today.
Oh, yeah, we are.
We actually are having a nice, it would be considered a treat because of the fact that...
It's a once-in-a-while treat.
Exactly. And it's something that we keep frozen.
Yes, you can make lots of it. Save it as gifts.
And part of it, the main ingredient, comes from my parents' yard.
Let me guess.
It's been there a really, really long time.
I know.
What?
Rhubarb.
Yes, we're making rhubarb bread today.
Yep.
Growing up, I had rhubarb bread a lot. And it was one of the things that my mom would make every time the rhubarb was in season. That along with zucchini for zucchini bread. Right.
Well, we never actually had rhubarb bread growing up. The first time I tried it was when you shared some that your mom made. And it's really delicious. But like I said, it's a once-in-a-while thing.
Exactly. So the nice thing about the rhubarb is we're actually going to be doing a plant-based recipe today.
Yeah, we're making rhubarb bread.
Exactly. So it does have some fun factors that I'm sure you'd love to share with people.
Sure. Righty.
She's getting silly today.
No, I'm not. Getting silly.
Okay, she is
around
silly.
you all the time.
That's a compliment.
Yes, it is, honey. Rhubarb is full of vitamin K1, calcium, vitamin C, potassium, and folate. And if you take about 3.5 ounces of cooked rhubarb, you get about 116 calories from that, 31.2 grams of carbs, and 2 grams of fiber, which are all good for the body. So,
now, you do not want to go making yourself a bowl of rhubarb and just eating rhubarb straight up. You don't want to do that.
No, you want to cook it with something.
Yes, it does. It's tart. And you can use it in jams for like your rhubarb strawberry jam.
Or sauces.
Which I made a sauce recently too.
Right.
That was
or
strawberry. Or bread.
And remember, only use the stalk, not the leaf.
Yes.
If it's poisonous, that would be all bad.
Yes. So, well, I guess what we're going to go ahead and do is we'll show you guys exactly how to make the rhubarb bread. And then we'll come back here and we're going to have a taste of it and let you guys know exactly what we think about it.
Yeah.
I know I'm going to like it.
I'm sure I will too. All right. We'll see ya.
All right. Be back in a second. First, we're going to start off with 15 cups of finely chopped rhubarb and 1 extra cup that we're going to use to place on top of our rhubarb bread. Go ahead and place a pot over medium-high heat and add in all of your finely chopped rhubarb. You're going to want to stir your rhubarb throughout this entire process. And I'm going to set my timer for 15 minutes. As you stir, your rhubarb will begin to soften up, and you're going to want to cook off almost all of the water from your rhubarb. Go ahead and set that aside. And now let's move on to our dry ingredients. I'm measuring out 6 cups of sugar, and with our sugar we also have 3 teaspoons of baking soda, 3 teaspoons of baking powder, and 1.5 teaspoons of salt substitute. At this time I'm going to measure out 9 cups of unbleached all-purpose flour, Now once we have everything measured out, we're going to get a really large bowl and we're going to add in all of our dry ingredients. I'm going to add in my flour, my sugar, my salt substitute, my baking soda, and my baking powder. With a whisk, we're going to combine everything together thoroughly. And now we're going to begin preparing our flax egg mixture. This is in place of regular eggs. For this, I'm measuring out 3/4 cup of flax seed. Into that, I'm going to add 2 1/4 cups of water. Now for 1 flax egg, that is 1 tablespoon of flax seed to 2 tablespoons of water. Whisk everything together, and then we're going to set that aside and allow the flax seed to absorb the water. Now we're going to get our cooked down rhubarb. Into that, we're going to add in 3 cups of vegetable oil, along with our flax egg. Stir everything to combine. And now we can start adding in our flour mixture. I'm going to add in about half of the flour, give it a stir, and then add in the rest. Continue to stir to combine. You want to make sure that you don't have any lumps of flour. Use a spatula to scrape down the sides. And stir until it's well combined. Now I'm going to preheat my oven to 350 degrees and start prepping my loaf pans. Now we're making some mini loaves and regular size loaves. Go ahead and spray your loaf pans with some olive oil and then lightly dust them with flour. We want to make sure that we don't have any of our rhubarb bread sticking to our pans. Next, I'm going to begin filling our loaf pans with our rhubarb batter. And you want to fill those about 3/4 of the way. On top of that, I'm going to add some of our finely chopped rhubarb. As well as giving them a light dusting of sugar. As our rhubarb bread cooks, this will actually create a nice crunchy top to our rhubarb. Now for our large loaves, we're going to treat them the same way we did with the small loaf pans, and we're going to add in some of our olive oil spray as well as dusting them with flour. And then fill those 3/4 of the way with our rhubarb batter. Once you have your rhubarb in your dishes, go ahead and top them with your finely chopped rhubarb pieces, as well as dusting them with sugar. Now I'm going to place our loaf pans into the oven along with our loaf dishes. And we're going to cook that for 50 to 60 minutes. I'm setting my timer for 55 minutes. Once the timer goes off, go ahead and use a toothpick and insert it into your rhubarb bread. If the toothpick comes out clean, then your rhubarb bread is done. Go ahead and remove your rhubarb bread from the oven, place it on a rack to allow it to cool. These are some beautiful loaves of rhubarb bread. All right, guys, so that is pretty much how you make delicious rhubarb bread. And we've got one of the little rhubarb breads right here.
Yes, our mini loaf.
And you can see. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut us. Do you want an end piece or do you want a middle piece?
Middle piece.
Of course, that's fine. So I'm going to cut off a few pieces of it. Now remember, do not go eating this all the time because yes, there's plenty of sugar in there. We're going to go ahead and just like that. There we go. Look at how nice that looks, honey.
It looks delicious. Can't wait to try it.
I'm excited to try it too. I'm excited for you to try it.
All right.
Okay.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead. Get my piece. Oops. Mmm. Mmm. Mmm.
Mm-hmm. It's good and it's moist. It's not dry.
Exactly. And on the top, you get that little bit of that sugar taste on there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, normally, if you were to take this out of the freezer, it's going to be not as much of a bite up here as if you had just baked it. When you just bake it, you get a little bit of a crunch to it. But I like this because, you know, you get a little bit of the moisture going out into it. And it's still so stinking delicious. Now, we didn't put any on there, but you can put a little bit of butter on there.
Yeah, plant-based butter.
Mm-hmm.
If you wanted to. I mean, you can serve it room temp. You could thaw it and put it in the fridge and serve it cold. Doesn't really matter. Tastes good either way. So
Now, thank you. I didn't put any nuts in it, but you can, if you wanted to put nuts in it, you can put nuts in it. I don't like a lot of nuts in my bread. That's just me. Some people like it, some people don't. That's me. I just don't like it. So I prefer mine this way. And when I was younger, another little treat that my mom used to put into ours, she used to put chocolate chips. So if you wanted to put in like some dark chocolate chips.
yeah, you can buy they're mini plant-based dark chocolate chips, and they're really, really tiny. So I think they would complement the bread really well. The bigger the dark chocolate chip you have, the harder it is to have it stay mixed in the batter, because it will want to fall to the bottom of the batter of the pan because it's denser. So if you're going to use chips, I would use mini chips, or I would even like crush up or chop up the chips so they kind of incorporate in the batter and they get suspended rather than falling to the bottom.
Okay.
I learned that the hard way.
I have found that out the hard way as well. So how would you, is this one of the better breads that you've had?
Mm-hmm.
And the nice thing is there's, you know, a lot of times, you know, you put eggs in a lot of your breads. In this, we use flaxseed. And that's something, if you guys are not familiar with flaxseed, try using it. You know, that's one of the things that we used in place of the eggs in here. But it's so nice to have it, and you can use it in almost anything. Now, you don't want to mix up a bowl of flax seeds, throw it in the pan, and make scrambled flaxseed.
No,
That'd
you
be
don't want
kinda
to do
gross.
that. But you can't even tell that there's no egg in this. Everything held together really well. It's very moist. And it's a really good recipe.
I'm very happy with it.
Yep, good job, hon.
So we'll definitely be sharing that with our family, of course. And then we'll be sharing that with, let me see, Becky. I know that you love this stuff, probably. I don't know if you've even had it before. But if you haven't, you're going to love it. So we want a good jar of jalapeno jam in exchange. It's a good trade-off.
Yeah, it is.
But
yeah, I mean, are we going to share this recipe with our team? Awesome.
yes, we will.
Okay.
So we'll definitely be sharing that with you guys. So as you saw the process going through it, and we hope to see you guys back again. You know, we appreciate you guys joining us, and try this out. Let us know what you think about it. Hit up our newsletter. Go over www.makemyfoodawesome.com. Sign up there. Get our newsletter.
Yep.
And what
And
comes
our
in here?
recipes,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. You get recipes in there.
Tips and tricks and all sorts of information. So, yeah.
That was good.
Yeah, it was.
That was really good.
I think that maybe you should look over there while I go over here.
Oh, no. Remember my plates. That's a large portion. And that wouldn't belong on there, would it? So,
No,
oh,
I guess
wow.
you're right.
Well, anyways. So, we'll see you guys back here again on
Make My Food Awesome.
You guys have a great one and take care of yourselves.
See you soon.
See you very, very soon.
Make